do you think there's going to be some kind of accountability down the road from the government? We're trying to do it through. You're trying to do it through the courts, but you think we'll see some change maybe at the ballot box? Do you think there's going to be any kind of accountability?
Well, I guess ultimate accountability is at the ballot box. We are optimistic that we will see some accountability in court. As you know, obviously the process is still unfolding. So we're all, just going through that process and being patient, and we'll see where that takes us. But I'm optimistic that this, in conjunction with several other things, hopefully might get people a different result.
Yeah. Sean, Carl?
I mean, there's a real opportunity here for the Canadian courts to again, to step up and take and deal with this issue, and not simply take a deferential bow to the federal government. It's a complicated issue, but that's not a reason to just rely on what the government says as being true, because the government says there's an emergency, because the government says it has to do this. This is an opportunity for real scrutiny, and it's an opportunity to test more thoroughly our Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and particularly with regard to Section 1 of that. It's a young constitution. Canada's constitution has been in existence since 1982. We're not talking about the US Constitution or the type of constitutional law that might be in the UK and old democracies like that. There's a real moment here for, on the widest level, for the Canadian judiciary to look at this and to reassure Canadians that this kind of casual health-based discrimination isn't something that can take root in Canada. I hope they take that very, very seriously and not show deference. I mean, certainly we've seen some examples recently. I mean, I've been sitting in the Supreme Court of BC, listening to the Chief Justice there, who's due to hand down a decision in relation to proof of vaccination more widely in British Columbia. And certainly some of the language that Chief Justice Hinkson was using in British Columbia was encouraging, insofar as it was clear that he understood the issues and wasn't just going to defer to government. He wasn't just going to, accept what they were saying. And he asked some difficult questions and made some interesting statements there. And hopefully there's something good comes out of that. And I think we'd like to see our case be heard. We'd like the judge who hears if there is, there's going to be an argument around whether this issue is moot or not, we'd like the judge who hears that case to exercise his or her discretion, that this is of such public importance that they want to hear the case and the actual the core issues and the merits, and go ahead with the hearing. And that will give Canadians an opportunity to hear it. It'll give the government an opportunity to explain its thinking, rather than try to push it under the corner of the rug.
And justify it too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Sorry, Sean, I want to echo something Carl just said. I think it is a very critical opportunity. And quite frankly, I think that difficult moments in our political history like this are the best opportunities to decide very complicated and difficult cases, because it's the point in time where people need the most guidance. And it's likely the point in time where the government needs the most scrutiny, quite frankly, because moments of crisis breed a lot of uncertainty, and they breed a lot of panic. And those are frankly the conditions in which we see a lot of sweeping measures come into place. And I couldn't imagine a more appropriate time and place to consider the constitutionality of these types of public health rationales than right now.